recognize Honorable Dr. C.P. Mulder. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Colleagues, good afternoon. The ANC today is again in a rather difficult position, and it reminds me of what we saw a few years ago when the EFF took the initiative when it came to the question of expropriation without compensation. It was the EFF that brought a motion to Parliament, and then the ANC had to follow. Now we've got the same situation today where the EFF takes the initiative and the ANC will have to follow. I listened very carefully to the Honourable Deputy Minister Mashego Dlamini, and I heard her say that the ANC is currently discussing this and they will have to take a decision one way or the other. Well, fact of the matter is that this resolution will be before the House on Tuesday next week, and then we will have to vote on that motion. So the ANC has got until Tuesday next week to decide what their position is going to be. The fact of the matter is that if you expel the Israeli ambassador and cut all diplomatic ties with Israel, South Africa will not be in a position to play any role whatsoever in terms of any mediation or any chance to try and play a constructive and a positive role to bring this conflict to an end. However, it's interesting to note that not one Arab country that currently does have diplomatic ties with Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Morocco, the United Arab Emirates, not one of them have severed any diplomatic ties with Israel despite what is currently going on. The Honourable Deputy Minister mentioned the fact that Palestine is entitled to her own homeland, and we all agree with that. But the fact of the matter is that since 1937, 6 such offers for an independent Palestinian homeland was made to the Palestinians, and they were all rejected. It is alleged that during the recent Islamic Arab Summit, that Algeria proposed that all diplomatic ties should be cut with Israel and everything should be cut in that instance. But that proposal was blocked by Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Egypt, Bahrain, Sudan, Morocco, Mauritania, and Djibouti. They were not prepared to do that, and South Africa should think very carefully before we go into that kind of approach. The Honourable Minister said, the Deputy Minister said that at the moment the ANC is considering their options, but it may have implications for South Africa's representation in Ramallah. I can assist the Honourable Minister. It's not a question that it may have implications, it will definitely have implications. Let me try to explain to the House. At the moment, our people that represent South Africa in Ramallah, 6 diplomats, all stay in Israel. They stay in Jerusalem and around those areas, and they have diplomatic immunity from Israel to do their jobs in Ramallah. If South Africa cuts all diplomatic ties with Israel, that will come to an end. Currently, those diplomats that represent South Africa in Ramallah and the Palestinian side and the West Bank, they fly into Ben Gurion Airport and then they travel to Ramallah, and that is where they work, but they don't stay there. The diplomatic ties are cut. They will no longer be allowed to fly into Ben Gurion Airport. They will have to fly to Jordan. They will no longer be able to stay in Israel. They will have to stay in Ramallah, but first of all, they will have to enter the West Bank from Jordan across a bridge which is controlled by Israel, and it's most unlikely that they will be allowed to enter West Bank. So South African government must understand that if they take these steps, it will have definite, direct implications for South Africa's representation in Ramallah. The fact of the matter is that we must understand that very clearly. Israel is not that dependent on South Africa's relationship. We can learn more from Israel in terms of Israeli products, etc. At the moment, lists are going around with Israeli products that should be boycotted and Israeli companies. But I'm still waiting for the alternative list of Palestinian products and companies that we should support. I haven't seen those. It would be a short-sighted decision by the South African government. It's opportunistic from the EFF, and we'll see on Tuesday if the South African government does the right thing and continue with diplomatic attempts to solve this problem. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you.